Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Yammy Noob. Today we've got a special bike on the docket. It's the Triumph Tiger Sport 660. So, as many of you will remember if you've been around the channel for a little while, back in 2021, we had a Triumph Trident 660 as a giveaway bike, and we really enjoyed it. I would rate it about a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. I still think that things like the MT-07 are a little bit zestier, a little bit peppier, but Triumph, I think, has really nailed it with the Tiger Sport 660. For the category, for the price, for the features you get on this thing, I think it's almost unbeatable. So, what are we working with today? But before I tell you what we're working with, this bike, this video, is supported by the good folks over at Eurocycle. The only reason I have this bike is because they actually sent it over to me as a bit of a loaner bike, a demo bike for a little while. So do me a favor, hit the link below and check out all the stuff they've got on offer. If you're trying to buy a cool European motorcycle, a Ducati, an Aprilia, an Hayabusa, a Triumph, even a Royal Enfield, they ship all over the nation, and they are one of the best dealerships I have ever worked with personally. I've bought so many bikes from them. I think what they do is really awesome. They got a great team over there. Go and check them out. They have some of the best pricing on Hayabusas specifically in the whole country, so you're not going to want to miss that. So let's talk over this motorcycle, what we're working with here. It's the same 660cc triple from the Trident 660. This motorcycle makes about 79 horsepower and 47 foot-pounds of torque. It's tuned to be a little bit more torque forward from what I've noticed over the Trident 660. It features basically the same frame as the Triumph Trident 660, showa suspension up front, non-adjustable, Nissan calipers, dual disc, not radially mounted, but that's okay. This bike doesn't need supreme stopping power, but it still feels really good from the lever pull, honestly. Nice feel on the lever here. Two different riding modes, rain and road. Remote preload adjuster right back here because this is a touring style bike, and quick shifter optional, luggage optional, a bunch of cool stuff you can get on this bike. But I really think that, again, Triumph has really nailed the mark with this bike. Let's swing a leg, let's go take it for a spin, and let's have some fun, shall we? So same switch cluster as the Trident 660, the kind of mixed LCD TFT dash thing. Go ahead and start it up. Got that classic Triumph triple sound. Really nice little exhaust note out of this thing. The one thing I felt this way about the Trident 660, and I feel this way about this bike. There's just a noticeable lag between throttle input and what the engine does. So if you... It's just a little lazy for my taste, honestly. What we're going to do as well here is I'm actually going to turn the traction control off because I'm a bit of a squid and I would like the TC to be disabled. Because that means we can do little wheelies and stuff. And this bike actually can do some pretty decent little wheelies, honestly. 33-inch seat height, nice and upright, commanding riding position on this machine. Adjustable little windshield right here too. It's a quick grab and release, which I like. Makes it a lot easier. Oh, hello, Austin PD. We'll wait a moment to do our little wheelie. But this is a really nice feature on this thing with the windshield. Go ahead and click it up here. First gear, second gear. Yeah. I find this thing so kind of peppy and fun to ride, man. It's kind of a little goon bike, you know? Honestly, you really wouldn't expect it, but it's kind of a little hooligan, which is really fun. It's like super upright. Kind of want to just goof around with this thing. Actually missed my turn back there, so we have to go and make a right over here. Don't know if this gentleman is turning left or right. Turning left. Sweet. Oh, why don't we do that again, shall we? Come on, a little like entry-level sport touring bike should not do that easily. That's a lot of fun. So I'll tell you this right now, over a Versus 650, oh my goodness, I would take this any day of the week. It's got so much pizzazz and character for a little sport touring bike. And on this, I think it's on Michelin Pilot Road 6 from the factory, which is an awesome tire choice. Manufacturers like Kawasaki and some others could really take a page out of Triumph's book and just equip the bike from the factory with proper rubber. It is a real shame whenever you get a bike that immediately you have to swap the tires on because the manufacturer is just too cheap to put on real rubber. You know, Yamaha puts the S22 on the R7, great tire. Triumph puts this Michelin Pilot Road 6, which is honestly my favorite road tire, honestly. Crazy levels of grip, crazy levels of longevity, really good on the side of the tire. This is really good for street duty, really, really fun. I am just loving life on this Triumph Tiger 660, honestly. I feel like you could just crush miles with this thing, pop wheelies, enjoy some smiles. This, to me, is the proper application of the Triumph Tiger 660, or rather the Trident 660's frame and motor. I remember when we rode that bike in 21 and we put a lot of miles on it because it was a giveaway bike. I always felt like, I was like, man, this doesn't really feel like a super, you know, peppy, fun little naked bike. It always felt a little bit, I don't know, like just a little lackluster. But in this configuration, this makes all the sense in the world to me, man. This is comfortable, upright, commanding riding stance. I feel like you can just, like you could really play with this thing. It's super fun. You know, other bikes in the category, Versus 650, V-Strom 650, or I guess now they make the 800, because I think they replaced the old V-twin with the new parallel twin they're doing. I don't remember the price point on the V-Strom 800, but this thing is $9,500 base. And you can spec in heated grips, luggage, quick shifter up and down. You get the adjustable windshield from the factory. Really, really good set of, you know, equipment on this thing. I think it's really nice. I do wish that cruise control was standard. I don't think you can even option in a cruise control on this thing. But again, we're starting to ask a lot out of our entry-level bikes. But if a CF Moto CLX 700 comes with cruise control, I don't understand why my Triumph Tiger 660 does not come with cruise control. I think it should definitely have a little bit of something. But yeah, I think I remember with the Triumph Trident 660, the view out of the dash here is really nice. It's a very pleasant place to sit. As a do-it-all motorcycle that's not going to see any dirt, man, this is a pretty sweet little package. Really peppy, really fun. I don't really, I remember with the Trident 660, it always felt like a bit of a neutered street triple. I was always like, oh, I know what Triumph can build, so it's kind of sad to see this. But in this package, it works really well. This fits the character of this bike really well. And you just want to play with the thing. I don't know, like it's very playful. So we're going to keep riding around here a little bit. I'm going to put you guys on the highway with this sucker. And we're also going to have some fun and see how it handles some twistier bits. And we're just going to keep doing the ride and report here because this bike's a ton of fun. All right, folks, entering the twistier sections with the Tiger Sport 660. And you know what's funny about this bike is I find myself, wow, that guy just completely blew that yellow. What I find myself doing with this bike, like I do with pretty much all kind of sport touring and ADV style bikes, is you kind of just end up just sitting in the pocket of the bike. This bike has a nice scoop in the seats. It's got this big banana seat too. And, dude, what is this guy doing? You end up, just kind of sitting in the pocket. You don't really want to, like, attack corners, so to speak. But you can definitely get after it with some corners. I am actually going to pass this gentleman here because he's kind of making me a little nervous. And so, yeah, you end up just kind of sitting in the bike, enjoying it. You got plenty of grip from the Michelin Pilot Road 6s. Yeah, you just you know, at that kind of street pace, the 5/10 pace, feels really damn good, man. Side to side is super balanced, super predictable. Yeah, this is really nice. I mean, Triumph basically only builds well-handling motorcycles. I mean, even down to their Bonneville lines. I remember when I had the Thruxton RS for a little bit, I was blown away at how well that bike handled. They just do a really good job, and it's very commendable that this bike can do the sport part of its name, because it's a Tiger Sport 660. And the thing I'm noticing, I have to say, the throttle response just is not what I would expect from a Triumph product. I said this about the Trident 660. I feel the same way about the Tiger Sport 660. Triumph usually absolutely nails their throttle feel and the fueling and all that stuff. But I find the 660 platform to just be a little bit muted. There is not a direct one-to-one relationship between your hand and what the butterfly valves are doing. And that is because this is a fully ride-by-wire system. And so at the end of the day, it's always going to, I think it's some manufacturers can dial it in really, really well. It seems like Triumph has not quite figured that out yet. If this bike had a cable throttle, I think it would be better for it because you get a little bit better feel out of it. Because at the same time, you have this fully ride-by-wire throttle, no cables coming out of it, but I don't have the benefits of it. I don't have cruise control. I don't have, you know, other things that come with ride-by-wire. I do obviously have my different ride modes, and so you can put this thing in rain mode or road mode. Rain mode, I feel like would be for the very, you know, very trepidatious, maybe entry-level rider. Doesn't want to have 47 foot-pound of torque on tap in wet weather conditions. I find that for me, I'd probably always just keep it in road mode. You know, this thing does have ABS as standard, so you will be able to stop very nicely in those wet weather conditions, which is really the most important thing. Yes, adding a little bit too much gas on a slippery manhole or some weird conditions, having TC or rain mode will definitely help. But I think road mode with TC on, you'll be able to very easily navigate and maneuver this motorcycle through the trickier conditions. We're going to go ahead and flip around another Yui and continue riding these Twisties because I did get stuck behind a little bit of traffic here. We'll actually comment on the slow speed maneuverability of the Triumph Tiger 660 right here. I'll go ahead and bang a Yui, turn my blinker off, check my 6. Oh, that's nice. You got really nice lock-to-lock on this thing. Like, yeah, you see here, I'll come to a stop so we can see it. Like, that's very nice. And that's one of the benefits of ADV/sport touring style bikes is they typically have a very wide steering sweep, which is really good. Look at that. Boom. Do all kinds of stuff. Oh, it's another car. Just my luck. Guys, I mean, look at this. I'm flicking the throttle open just a teensy bit. I'm getting nothing. I'm getting like this weird, like, idly rev where I should get like a brap, 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 brap. Nothing out of this bike. That's quite sad. Got some poke though, for sure. I don't really think this is an entry-level bike, to be honest. This triple cylinder with this amount of torque. Maybe that beginner plus category we talk about sometimes. Maybe an older rider returning to motorcycling or getting started and wants to be a little bit more responsible. You can really hustle this thing though. Look at this. Let's try to push the envelope here a little bit. All right. Down the hill. Grab up a gear, get a little more speed. Down to the third, checking the brakes a little bit. Not bad. There. Maintenance. Down a gear. Seems to be working very well. I'm now hanging off the bike, being a bit of a squid on my sport touring machine. But I think for... Oh, we caught that car. I think for the reasonable human being, this thing has enough pace to keep up with just about anything on the street in a twisty road setting. Obviously, if you're just doing highway pulls with your buddies on your leader bikes, this is not the right machine for that. But I would rate its twisty road pace and potential as pretty damn high, honestly. You can really get after it with this thing. It's actually very impressive. All right, folks, I'm going to move on to the highway. I want to test this thing's kind of highway manners, the wind protection, and talk a little bit more about this bike. All right, we're going to do a quick little 0 to 60 test with the Triumph Tiger Sport 660. Got this little stop sign up here. Get a little quick braking check, shall we? Squeeze on the lever. That's pretty good. Yeah, the Nissans give a lot of stopping power, man. Honestly, that's pretty decent. All right, we're gonna let that truck get ahead a little bit. Nobody behind me. Nobody coming left on me. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. All right. That's 60. This is a pretty good little stoplight to stoplight bike. You can get pretty good 0 to 60s with this. That must have been close to 4 seconds, maybe less. That was pretty damn fast. That's what I mean about motorcycles, man. We talk about entry-level bikes, beginner bikes, doing 0 to 60 in sub 4 seconds. Yeah, that's crazy. You gotta love motorcycling. Jumping onto the highway here with the Tiger 660 Sport, I guess you have to say. Clicking it up into 6th gear, doing some hypermiling type of stuff, 60 miles an hour or so. Windshield actually works really well. I'm about 5'11" with an average sized torso, so I'm not super tall. I imagine if you were a little bit taller, you may end up with some weird buffeting, but from right here, this is providing me a nice relief from the wind for my chest, specifically and my neck. My head gets a little bit of buffeting, which is okay. If I go ahead and lower it, yeah, I get a lot more on my head now. Much more of that standard, traditional, motorcycle riding experience. I don't really ride bikes with windshields that often, especially not big adjustable ones like this. Something like the Goldwing or K1600 GTL or whatever, that's obviously going to be way more wind protection, but this, for the type of bike that it is, I think it offers a lot, man. It's offering a lot of wind protection, really, really nice. And again, the two main features that I really miss on this thing would be cruise control and, a better throttle, basically, which isn't exactly a feature, but just a little bit more snappy and direct of a throttle. You could install a throttle lock on this. It wouldn't be a big deal. It may not gel well with the heated grip setting, but I think those are activated over here because there's a bit of a gap right here between the grip and the cluster right here. And I think that is for the heated grip module, which this bike actually did not come equipped with, but you can add on as a factory option whenever you purchase the bike. And yeah, I think it's pretty nice. One thing I like too are the mirrors, honestly. The mirrors are in a good position for me. Very adjustable, quick adjustable. They go all directions too, which is nice. You can go up, down, left, right, back, forward, which is really great. Some mirrors on sport bikes are a little tricky. They tend to be a little, like you can only move them in one direction. You can't really see much out of them. And they don't tend to vibrate much either, which is nice. I can get a really crystal clear view out of the mirrors here, and they're very helpful. So yeah, I think if you were to do a lot of highway commuting on this bike, if you were to go try to crush some big distances, I think this bike would be all up for the task, man. This is a pretty nice little place to sit. I find the seat comfortable too, honestly. I've been on this bike for about 2 hours now, and I feel like the seat is very, very comfortable. I think that you could easily do a big, long trip on this bike. 300, 400, 500 miles in a day. Be comfortable, no problem. Again, you're just missing that cruise control, which is, yeah, kind of rough whenever you're slabbing it up on these big American highways without much twists or turns. Which kind of begs the question, like, I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, is it worth it to slab on the highway on your bike just in a straight line? Or should you just trailer the bike and when you get there, you do some nice riding and then go in comfort? I don't know. I mean, this is about as comfortable as it gets on motorcycles. And I've said it before, I do think something like this it's just more pleasant to ride than a big K1600 GTL or a Goldwing. Those bikes are truly transcontinental. Like, yeah, if you're just going to be slapping it on the highway and you must do it on 2 wheels, get a Goldwing. But This is a way more flexible motorcycle. This can be your everyday commuter. You could even chuck this on a track day if you wanted to. Twisty road rides with your buddies. Anything you want to do on this bike, you could totally do it. And I think it's pretty sweet for that reason. Honestly, one thing I want to do, which I wanted to do with the S1000 XR, but I did not get the chance. I kind of want to do my little sport touring track day idea. My local track is about 200 miles away from where I live, and so it's about a 3-hour drive. And so I kind of want to like just strap my suit to the back of this thing with some straps, put on a bit of luggage, maybe a tank bag, bring a backpack, a change of clothes, and yeah, show up to the track day, do the track day, and then go home. Kind of like a little weekend trip. I just want to see if it's possible. So I may end up doing that with this bike. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I bet you there's going to be some leader bikes I can pass on the outside of this bad boy, because it's pretty sweet. It's pretty quick. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my thoughts on this machine. So stay tuned for the final conclusion on what I think of the Triumph Tiger Sport 660. All right. Just a casual little day. The Triumph Tiger Sport 660. What do I make of this machine? Well, boys, it's a good one, honestly. I think for the price, for what you're getting, for the features you get, I've really enjoyed it. Think about it this way. $9,500, you get a 3-cylinder motor. That's more cylinders than the Versus 650 or the old V-Strom 800. I don't know how much that one cost, but I think this one does a pretty good job of differentiating itself. Really nice to ride. That's the big difference for me. I've ridden the Versus 650. I've ridden a couple other middle displacement sport touring offerings. This is easily the nicest handling one. It makes a great sound. It doesn't sound like a lawnmower. It's got a lot more character, emotion, and soul. The couple things I would change on it, I'd fix that throttle somehow. I don't know if someone makes a flash for it or whatever. I would love to fix that. And then I would also get cruise control. I would personally outfit this machine with some more options. Luggage, maybe a tank bag, heated grips for those colder weather riding. Not that that's happening right now in Texas. It's about 100 degrees already out here, which is pretty miserable, but that's okay. Love the Michelin Pilot Road 6s that they've got on here. Really, really nice. Oh, those are the Road 5s, aren't they? They're not the new Road 6s. Hold up, folks. Yeah, they're the Road 5s, not the Road 6. They came out with the Road 6 not too long ago, but this tire is still very, very good. Yeah, man, nothing but good things to say about this thing. I like it a lot. I'd rate it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Really great motor. Really great frame. Nice handling. Yeah. Nothing bad to say. Really great bike. Thanks again for watching today's video. Big shout out to Eurocycle for supporting today's episode and providing this motorcycle. Hit that link down below to check them out, and you could get yourself a Triumph Tiger Sport 660 if that's what you're looking for. And yeah, another thing, I didn't mention this in my review earlier, but I think it looks way better than anything else on the market. I think it's a really handsome little bike. Yeah, I like this thing. It's really cool. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.